Hello, everybody, and welcome back. And this is a huge question that I think we all need to know, and it's kind of based off of um, a recent experience that I had with a friend of mine, and I'm not going to get into the details, but I think it's been happening to a lot of people for the past, not just like few months or anything, but I would argue even the past few years. And I just think so many people's sensitivity is just so hyper. It's like walking. It can sometimes feel like you're walking on eggshells, or even pins. You are don't and you don't want to basically engage with any of that, and I don't know how to explain it. Just I think a lot of people are starting to become extremely sensitive. If they have, well, actually, they've been extremely sensitive. Uh, as I said, for quite a bit. But what is making them so hypersensitive? Whether if it's like the food, or if it's just the energy's changing or something. We need to know this. Queen of Swords. King of Swords. Three of Pentacles. King of Wands. Four of Pentacles. And then we'll draw one more. One of Pentacles. I can already tell that there seems to be a lot of just it's funny how we actually just got the King and Queen of Swords. And the thing, what is I find interesting about that is that it's basically showing us that you are experiencing, people are going through changes, and we have to understand that everybody is very, very sensitive to change, and it's starting to become, people are starting to wake up and become a lot wiser than what they used to be like, and which I think is absolutely amazing and great. And the Three of followed by the Three of Pentacles. So not only are we being not only are we starting to not only are we becoming wiser and just evolving in becoming the change that we've been desiring as much, but also we there's this huge plan for us to succeed, and for us to help us grow, you are growing. That's what this is. It's a big transformation, and it's something that I'm sure your soul or your body, or just something that we have never been going through for so freaking long. The and 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 it's funny how the last two are Four of Pentacles and Four of Pentacles and Five of Pentacles, both of which it's you're holding. A lot of people are just these days are just scared. Even though we're going through such great, huge transformation, a lot of people don't exactly know what is going on. And I think that's what people are starting to what's even increasing people's even more sensitivity even more, is because you do get sensitive and suspicious and scared when you don't know what something is. And there is a lot of growth going through us, and that we're in energies that we're seeing that we just are not even familiar with. So, and what happens, your body starts to resist something that it doesn't know, and it starts becoming very, very vicious and unsettled. But even though we have the King of Wands, like, we gotta. It's a mate. This is the thing is that a lot of people, in order for these sorts of things of changing, requires a lot of leadership within ourselves, and a lot of people don't know how to lead at all. And I'm serious. If there are people who actually resist leadership just for the sake of their comfort, because leading is not comfortable. You have to be very responsible, and that's what people are like resisting. They're resisting, even though these great energies and great changes are coming. It's becoming it's very, very unsettling to whoever's going through this, and especially if you're going through it. I'm sure you're either having nightmares, or you're throwing tantrums, or you're having just meltdowns, or just like things that you're not familiar with, and it really, really wreaks a lot of havoc, not just to your mind, but to your body and soul as well. And you may feel like you're possessed or something. Like, you're not possessed. And if you've acted like this, this is nothing to be ashamed of. This is all part of the process. I mean, your body and soul are just resisting things that they're not familiar with. But ultimately, it's something that you shouldn't. But is it really something that you shouldn't? Let's see what we got. I'll use, okay, existence, creativity, slowing down, aloneness, breakthrough, and the source. Wow, that last one is absolutely amazing, because like right now, one of the questions that, and what makes us fight these changes and fights these growths, is, does it even exist? And sometimes we even question our own existence, which is not abnormal. It's very normal. I used to question my existence and why I existed, but you bring, I can tell that you bring out creativity in your own manner. Whoever's watching this is to you. You are being creative, and things are kind of slowing down. I believe that's what is going to be happening here. What's been going on recently is a lot of havoc, and has led to a lot of confusion due to growth, and just due to inner chaoses that you've been going through. And right now you're starting to question some things, and so it is okay to slow down just a little bit by being alone. It's okay to be alone for a little bit, because you need to look inward and understand that anything that you've done, you shouldn't be ashamed of. Now, if we're talking about like assault, or you're doing something illegal, which to like that involves people who are younger, I am not going to say that, then yeah, you should absolutely be ashamed of yourself. But I have a huge feeling that y'all aren't anything like that. If anything, you're against people like that. But it's okay to be alone, because you are on the brink of having a breakthrough here. You're going to break through, and things are you might think that these are just like crazy changes, or just like this destruction going on in yourself. But ultimately, and especially how the after one is the source, you know what the source is. It has a plan, and not only does the source have a plan for you, but that's what you go to for questions and for stuff. And many of the times you are the source, and not a lot of people know this, but you and the source are one. Even outer sources, your source is part of that source. If you understand what I'm trying to say. So nothing that you're doing, it's, so, I mean, like, that's it's, I mean, like, that could create a lot of sensitivity. But the thing is to compose and understand that even though you're being sensitive and these and all this stuff, and questioning your existence, or trying to embrace your existence. It's okay. The reason why people are people's sensitivity it has been increasing is because a lot of this stuff is unknown to them. Not a lot of people know about going through this because a lot of them are just too scared or they're too ashamed of it. We're at an age and at a time where the ego is more valued than the soul and the aura, to be honest. And that is completely false. You should never confuse your aura with your ego. And a lot of people do this. I might have said this earlier, but in many Eastern practices, they say I or me, and when they are saying that, they're talking to their soul. I am one of God, or I am one with the Buddha, or whatever you want, or I am God, or I am whatever, the source. I am the source. It's not. People confuse that with their ego, saying, "Oh, like my physical body and my existence is the source." It's like, no, it's your soul. So, decent chances your soul is breaking through and saying, you gotta snap out of this. You gotta put your ego aside, and you gotta learn to grow and let go of your of the things that are destroying you. You have to stand up to the plate, and a lot of that is just slowing down and taking things one step at a time and being alone. Because the more you are alone, the more not only do you focus on yourself, but the more you grow and you get to figure out what has been going on, and you start seeing right from wrong, and you start releasing the shame, because shame comes from a lot of misunderstanding and denial. But when you understand it, then you're not so in denial as you used to be. So, but a lot of this, it has to stem through fear, and a lot of people are afraid. But a lot of the high and mighties want you to be afraid. They need you to be sensitive, because then you can't grow. And it's good to be sensitive in a very spiritual way, being like aware of things. But if you're being bombarded with your nerves and just you're hypersensitive and triggered to everything, then that's something entirely different, and something that just means that you need to work on just yourself. And if you need to just be alone, or if it resolves for you being alone, just understand that you will break through this, and it's going to be a lot more amazing. Worlds within worlds. New chapter. Unconditional love. Be still. Shadow self. Celestial teacher. I there are a lot of worlds within worlds. This, even though, um, and I think that's what we're being, what a lot of you are starting to see, that there are a lot of worlds going on, but and these worlds are coming together and growing, and you and what I mean by these worlds, it's not just like and it's also, we're kind of living at an age these days where there's a huge familiar zeitgeist going on, that maybe the sensitivity that you might be feeling is that you're way too familiar with this, and and you still don't know how to handle it, or you just can't. But it is good to grow, because all of this is a new chapter for everybody, and you will learn to have unconditional love, and that's what it's going to take. Learn to love yourselves. I know it's so cliche to say. I know it's just obnoxiously lame, and just this, that, or the other. You become passive to it, but it's something that we all need to have. You also need to be still, meditate, and just understand. Maybe not just exclusively meditate, but also know that you can face even your shadow self, and just understand that all this pain and suffering and all this sensitivity, you're being taught by celestial teachers. There's and that's the whole point of life. A lot of people say, what's the point of my life? What is it? Some of us here are here to teach, and some of us are here to learn. And even the teachers are still learning. So everybody is here on this planet to evolve and learn. But just because, I mean, you're so sensitive to certain things. Again, that shouldn't be anything to be ashamed of. There's just something weird in the air, and also this is a release of the ego. I can tell that this is. But we're so scared to let go of our egos, because we know egos are very, very protective. And because, like, what does that mean? What does ego mean? It stems from the Greek word ego, which is I, me, I need to protect myself. I need this. I need that. I need this. I want this. You got all of that. Well, you get to, I mean, we all need those things. But our soul and your soul need peace. And it's not, and to maintain peace, it's gonna go through a lot of growth, and it's going to be very, very painful. And you might go absolutely insane, and people might think you're insane, or you might be throwing tantrums and people will still criticize you. You might start questioning again your existence, but you're here for a purpose. And that is that is absolutely true. I cannot tell you what your purpose is, but we're sensitive because we're scared that we don't know what our purpose is, or if our lives are lost causes. I mean, that's what a lot of people don't want to feel. They don't want to feel like they don't mean anything. They don't want to feel like anything like they're irrelevant. And you know what? You're not. If you were irrelevant, you wouldn't be here. So even though that there's a bit of a shift going on, and there are these like huge clashes going on, inner and outer, and even in the spiritual worlds, these drastic changes, it's nothing that you should not be upset or ashamed or be nervous about. It's just, I know this sounds cliche, but just go with the flow. When you feel like you're going through the motions of something, you might not think that it's taking you anywhere, but in this case, and in some cases it doesn't, but in this case it is. Just do what's best for you. If you're still very, very, very sensitive to the point where you're having panic attacks, I mean, like, this is what this channel is for. You can always ask me questions and I can do readings on them. If you're feeling nervous, or if you're feeling, or if you just want a general question about certain things, I mean, this is what I'm here for. I'm here to tell you a lot of the things that are not being told, and things that are not being seen. Reveal what's not seen or not being heard, and it's just it's an honor to have you as an audience, and I just hope you understand that what you're going through is not wrong, and you shouldn't feel humiliated or embarrassed about. It's okay with what you're going through, so just don't be ashamed. I'm here, God's here, yeah, or Gaia is here, but in Greek we say yeah. You're protected. You're protected by angels, you're protected by the divine, and please understand that nothing what you're doing is wrong. Okay, thank you so very much. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe so the echoes expand.